Happy Tuesday, and welcome to the Ram Ashram Satsang practice session, where you'll learn a modern Satsang method for obtaining peace, light, and love in your life. My name is Eddie, and I will be introducing the facilitator for today's event. But first, I'd like to give you a brief introduction to this practice session. If you'll direct your attention towards your screen, you'll see the first element is Satsang. Satsang is a scientific method whereby we may obtain peace, light, and love in this life. It requires no physical skill, spiritual accomplishment, or meditation experience to begin its practice. Satsang consists of two words, Sat and Sang. Sat means positive energy, and Sang means to be with or to be in the presence of. Therefore, the word Satsang means to be in the presence of positive energy. The next element is meditation. Meditation is an important element of Satsang. When we meditate, we withdraw consciousness from worldly objects and direct it inwards to focus on a single thought. In doing so, our minds become calm and our thoughts become pure, thereby allowing us to obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. Inner orientation. There are two types of satsang, inner satsang and outer satsang. An example of outer satsang would be chanting or attending pilgrimages. When we practice outer satsang, we have the potential to change our behavior, but only through the practice of inner satsang can we obtain higher states of consciousness, such as enlightenment, peace, light, and love. The satsang that you will learn today is an inner satsang where we meditate in silence. Group session. These practice sessions are structured for group participation. When we meditate as a group, our focus is improved and our personal progress along our spiritual path is expedited. Each time you participate in these practice sessions, the benefits of group participation are amplified. Joy and inner happiness. All beings wish to experience joy. Joy is the eternal longing of the soul, but only through the practice of inner satsang can we obtain a joyous state. Each time we practice satsang, our inner happiness gradually increases, ultimately culminating in a state of joy, which we experience 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The agenda for today consists of 3 sessions: the informative session, the practice session, and the interactive session. During the informative session, a lecture will be given about a satsang topic, the founder, or some relevant spiritual topic. During the practice session, you'll receive instructions on how to meditate, followed by a period of practice. During the interactive session, you have the opportunity to ask questions, or there'll be a panel discussion. And now, I'd like to introduce the facilitator for today's event. He has over 40 years of satsang experience. He's the grandson of Guru Maharaj, the founder of Ram Ashram Satsang. He was born into a satsang family where he experienced his family members obtain states of enlightenment and lead lives of peace, light, and love. At an early age, he began traveling with the mission throughout India, facilitating satsangs. And during that time, he witnessed the benefits that satsang could have on mankind. And upon arriving to the United States, both he and his wife continued to facilitate satsang for local satsangees. He has led satsang members in translating important satsang literature into English, and has worked tirelessly to make satsang more available to Western and English-speaking audiences. He currently travels throughout the United States, India, and England, facilitating satsangs while maintaining his duties as a husband, a father, and an IT executive. Today, he will teach us a rare and ancient form of satsang as taught by Guru Maharaj. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Sanjeev Kumarji.
So happy Tuesday, everyone. Thank you, Eddie. Today I just came across this quote from Rumi, who's a Persian poet and philosopher, that silence is the language of God, all else is poor translation. Very interesting. The reason it actually is something that I I have talked about in the past sessions. Today, I thought this would be a good start. But let me, go back, especially for folks who are, trying to understand what we do here and how we do. So first and foremost, the goal for today's session is to connect with peace, and especially inner peace. So, and in that process, we'll relax a little, calm our mind. Physical resting and meditating, will also bring, so physical rest will happen just because we're still, and then meditating will bring rest to the mind, and that's actually very interesting. The new research actually says that when we are physically resting, our mind is still at work. So resting the mind, you have to, do activities like, that concentrate your mind. So people, do various things, chanting, singing. Music does a lot of that in meditation as well. So for the time being, usually, these sessions last about an hour. So what we are trying to do is clear our minds. So let's stop bringing in more things to clear up, and let's orient our mind to stop the chitter chatter, right? So the question becomes like, how do we accomplish that? So that we want to accomplish through inner and outer silence. And that's why I think I like that quote quite a bit. It's another quote I saw very recently was, prayers is when we're talking to God, and meditation is when we're listening to God. So now, how do we whiten the inner and outer noise so that we are in inner and outer silence? So one thing that we will talk about is inner orientation. And then in that process, we also, what we'll do is we want to control the inner noise, and we'll talk about that. And then we don't have much control on the outer noise. So yes, we want to get into a quieter place and all that, but still there will be things, and especially when you, become silent, and then you will hear things which you were not hearing before from outside. So how do we become very selective in filtering out that outer noise? So all that, sounds pretty, uphill task. And so my grandfather, who everybody called Guru Maharaj, figured out all this, and then he packaged it. And in 1930 or around that time, made it freely available to whoever was interested. And both he and his guru collected from many ideologies, religious texts and scriptures and all that, things that would lead to lasting inner peace. So very well-tested and practiced approach. So it's not breathing, meditation. It's, it's sometimes a lot of people refer to it as guided meditation, which it is, because it always starts with clear and specific instructions on how to meditate. And that guidance is there, but it's not like spoon feeding where you keep on repeating things, or during the meditation, so instead, during the meditation, you are in deep silence, and the way you orient yourself, it's deep silence that, cuts out, or actually the noise you don't listen to, either it's from inside or out. So that's what we need to achieve. So the question becomes like, our mind is always wandering and always going from one thought to another, and like in sub-seconds. So it's constantly churning. So first thing is that we need to give our mind an object of concentration. What do we want to manifest becomes a central point there. And so what we want to do there, so in this method, the idea is to meditate on transcendental energy in form of light. So transcendental light is what we concentrate on, but that is, so now, so yes, we take help of music. So transition in and transition out is with music, but there is this deep silence in which we try to stop this internal and external noise, from disturbing us. And how that happens is that you focus on this object of concentration in a way that you just, completely, that focus should be such that you just, filter out everything else. So it's so what you want to meditate on is important for various different reasons. What you do to, curtail the other noise, that's where most of the meditations differ. So interestingly, even if you were to leverage music or, chanting, mantras, the whole goal is that you concentrate on that activity in such a way that everything else becomes secondary. And then you go deeper in silence. That is where the real deep meditation is. So Guru Maharaj basically wanted to get to that deeper meditative state in a more straightforward way. And that's what we will practice. So Yuan, if you bring up that inner yoga slide, let's just talk a little bit about the various things that we need to keep in mind when we are practicing, and then we'll get into the practice. So inner yoga, that's another way, call it satsang or inner yoga. So as described by Guru Maharaj, emphasizes 4 of the 8 limbs described by Maharishi Patanjali in his Yoga Sutra. So inward orientation is the first thing. So how do we do that? Basically, sit in a relaxed posture and eyes lightly closed. So eyes closed because we don't want the sensory input to distract our mind. And we're sitting in a relaxed posture, a still posture, because every time the body moves, the mind moves with it, and we want to minimize that distraction. So still posture and eyes lightly closed. And now come to the second point, which is concentration, manifestation, or what are we trying to imagine while we are meditating. So that's our concentration step. And here it's like an art of doing nothing. How do we not get into any activity? We're just observing this and feeling the presence of this transcendental energy in form of light. And that light is entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we're becoming one with this light. Now, mind will wander away because it's natural. And every time, so you don't do any other activity, just observe this light in front of us that's entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we're becoming one with this light. So we have to feel the presence of this energy, uplifting, positive energy right here, right now with us, in front of us, surrounding us, and that we're becoming one with this energy. So we are becoming the energy through this process. When mind wanders away, again, the inward orientation step, we have to execute, we bring it back. So mind wanders away, you realize it's somewhere else, you bring it back to this thought and this thought alone, that we are surrounded by this transcendental energy. We feel the presence in form of light, and that light is entering our heart, and that's distributing throughout the body, and we are becoming one with this light. And if we try this, we get into the next step where we are in deep meditation, in silence, where we are trying to become thought-free. So that thought-free state of silence. And in this deep silence is where we get to the further next step, which is higher consciousness and higher level of awareness. So I'll just repeat one more time. We're eyes lightly closed, still posture. Feel the presence of this transcendental energy in form of light. That light is entering our heart, distributing throughout our body, and we are becoming one with this light. If mind wanders away, bring it back to this thought and this thought alone. That transcendental energy is right here, right now with us in form of light. That light is enlightening our heart. And then from there, it is enlightening every part of our body. And we're getting completely immersed in this light. We'll start with music. The music will fade away, and we'll continue the meditation in silence, and then we'll come out of it, again, transition out with music. Let's start. So happy Tuesday. And I was thinking, I should thank everyone here because the collective energy, that what helps everyone's state. And had a great meditation session. So thank you. And I think I also, on the same lines, everyone who ever embodied the transcendental energy, I think, once that happens, it's all the benefits of physical health benefits of meditation, all the psychological and mental capabilities and powers that you inculcate through meditation, and then the spiritual embodiment of this, how you transcend the world through this manifestation. So fortunately, I met several folks who transformed their life and hence, transformed their environment and a lot of other people as well. So Cynthia, hello, and Shrey, dance. I can pronounce dance easily with C, then Shrey.
Sheree, yes.
Shrey. How are you?
Yes. Fine. How are you?
Good. So how was the session?
It was good. My first time. I think I don't know. I started to fall asleep a little bit. I'm sure that's what you're supposed to do, but I was trying. When I felt myself falling asleep, I was waking back up. But I mean, it's my first time, so I really didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, deep meditation sometimes, might feel like we're sleeping, but this comes up again and again too. So, I mean, on one hand, I feel if we get relaxed enough that we sleep, I mean, in a world where a lot of people are just not able to sleep, what's wrong with that? but on the flip side, more seriously, meditation is a state of being awake. So it's awake, and so the whole aspect of higher consciousness, higher awareness, and all that is like a very intense, state of being awake. But yeah, I mean, I would say practice, do some group sessions and see how it evolves. Probably, when these sessions are more effectively done in person, because somebody else would be able to tell if you were meditating or sleeping. I hope,
Mm-hmm. I do have another question.
Yeah.
When you're meditating, are you supposed to be, the manifestation part? Are you supposed to be saying stuff out loud, or are you supposed to be just saying it in your head?
So actually here, there's nothing to say. It's more to observe, more to feel connected, feel the presence, to make it more real, any belief that we have, we can, think this light is coming from Christ, from Krishna, from, Buddha. But it's more of an observing and then manifesting this, transcendental light into our heart and then, into our entire consciousness.
Okay.
That part, it's more, think of more of, it's like a mindset that then evolves further, right?
Okay.
But I also, would say meditation should be like absolutely effortless. If we're trying something too hard, if we're just, then you're again getting into a loop that we don't want to. So just, one example I give is like, I'm here in light, right? So yes, sometimes I forget, but I am in light. And so just, it's like natural, very, so yeah, we are manifesting very positive, very uplifting light that is, and we want to feel the presence and connection, but don't want to go too deep into, and make this almost like a mental exercise. We want to go further up than that.
Okay.
Yeah, try it. And, every Tuesday this time and 7 p.m. Eastern and Saturday, 10 a.m., we, talk a little bit about things, about the practice and then practice it and get into some discussions. Usually it's about an hour and change. Yeah. So group sessions, group energy definitely is very helpful. So I would heavily recommend that and try it daily for even 10-15 minutes. Twice a day would be ideal. But and see, I think if you see that you are becoming a bit calmer, there are some positive behavioral changes, some, and what I call inner happiness. So happiness that's not connected to outer, situations and things and possessions and all that. So inner happiness is increasing, then you're on the right track. Cynthia, how are you doing? Are you able to unmute?
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, I feel great. Thank you for the space.
Sure thing. Your first time too, right?
No,
yeah.
I think it's been a long time, like a year or two.
Oh, wow. So off and on or?
No, just I think, yeah, with you. Yeah, I remember you from a long time ago. But yeah, I've been coming different online stuff.
Oh, so apologies. You're part of the family then. But I think more in person and more video interaction would help. But
Yes.
but it's I think the main goal is to be more calm, more peaceful, and continue to work towards the state of being I mean, higher consciousness and higher awareness looks pretty lofty, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's, if we feel love in our hearts and peace and light, I think we're good.
Yes.
So how do you feel? What works, and is there anything that is more difficult? I wouldn't say it doesn't work.
Yeah, I just like coming to the group settings, and yeah, it just keeps me going and centered, grounded.
Where are you located?
I'm in Los Angeles.
Oh, cool. Mhm. So Saturdays must be too early, is it?
Is that the 5?
That's the 10 a.m. So it's like 7 a.m. there.
Oh, no, that's not too early. No. Yeah. I just saw the Eventbrite, so I just signed up for everything because.
Yeah, so if you use the same link, I mean, any Saturday, 10 a.m. or this time, 7 p.m. Tuesday, just whenever, just store the link and you can just use the link directly.
Okay. Yeah, I think it didn't send it to me, so I got lost.
Oh, so yeah, I think one of our volunteers has been off today, but yeah, we are, I think that's one of the things that we probably need to do better, but yeah, getting there.
But I'm back now, so it's okay.
Yes, I'm glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Sure thing. Nice talking to you too. So yeah, I'll remember now. So,
thank you.
Good. So Eddie, what's the wrap-up thought for today then?
Just a reminder that our spiritual happiness is achieved when our minds are steady and settled, and that's when we experience the happiness that we're all looking for in our lives. And so that takes some practice. And so by regularly attending, we begin to calm our minds, and those thoughts that are constantly arising begin to fade away, and we experience that sense of peace and steadiness of mind and even silence, right? And then we can hear sort of the language, if you will, of God or that higher being. And so it's just a matter of practice, and it will come. So I just want to remind everyone that, one of the most important steps that we take, and one of the first steps that must occur, is that settling of the mind. And then after that, the transcendental energy becomes increased, and then you sort of accelerate your progress along your spiritual path at that point. But the first step is calming of the mind. So just to remind everyone, it takes a little practice, but it does come.
Awesome. So on that note, glad we were here, and I really had a great session. Thank you so much. And we'll see you here soon. Thank you. Take care.
Hey, namaste. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye. Thank you, Sanjeev ji.